From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Tuesday morning. Yesterday we had mostly sunny skies. Today it's going to be all sunshine up in the sky. You're taking a live look right now at Kennewick. This view coming courtesy of Yakima Federal. Don't look directly into it, but yeah, already a lot of sunshine up in the sky for this morning. Winds were a big factor yesterday. It will be a bit breezier, windy for today, but they're not going to be as strong as they were for yesterday. Still some residual gusts even this morning. Peak gusts around 25 miles per hour right now in the Kittitas Valley. They were around 15 miles per hour earlier this morning in the lower Columbia Basin. These will ramp up later today, especially after 2 p.m. Right now, temperatures in the 50s and 60s for lower elevations, 40s up in the Cascades, 40s and 50s up in the Blues. Your day planner forecast for today for lower elevations going to be in the 70s as soon as 11 a.m. and then 70s and 80s at the peak of daytime heating. Will still be about 5 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year, but with the winds picking up for Wednesday and Friday, that's going to be associated with a cold fronts, plural, that could knock us down to about 10 degrees cooler than normal by the time we get to Saturday. Not just cooler for this weekend, but rain chances going up as well. I'll show you some of those rain chances coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, an investigation's underway after a man is hit and killed by a car while crossing a busy street in Kennewick. We have the details.
And a Kennewick family loses their home to a fire. What we know so far about the blaze that gutted the entire house.
And hundreds gathering over the weekend on Columbia Center Boulevard with a message, and we'll share it with you. It's all in Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
I'm Jade Elliott. It's Tuesday, June 17th, and as always, busy morning.
And we want to start your top stories off in Kennewick.
Yeah, just yesterday morning, a man was hit and killed while crossing Gage Boulevard between Louisiana Street and Grand Ridge Boulevard. Kennewick police say that he was hit while crossing in that area, and that caused the roadway to shut down for several hours. They were able to eventually reopen that roadway just after 10 a.m. So you can imagine a lot of congestion during the morning commute there.
And the police department says its investigation is ongoing. Authorities are also asking people who witnessed the crash to call non-emergency dispatch to provide a statement if they haven't done so already.
And taking you to Yakima, where police are investigating a homicide after they responded to a home in the 1200 block of Pleasant Avenue. That's where they found a 66-year-old man shot to death. A person of interest, a 38-year-old man, he was taken into custody at the scene and booked into the Yakima County Jail on first-degree murder charges. We're told that the man that was killed and the shooter live in the same area, and officials believe that this is an isolated incident, but is asking anyone with information to contact police.
And a 24-year-old vulnerable adult is recovering after being rescued from the Rosa Canal near Selah. Yakima County deputies say Monday morning the man had walked away from his home and entered the water before help could arrive. First responders pulled him from the canal. About 15 minutes later, he was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay.
A house in Prosser still standing after a fire started in its front yard yesterday. Firefighters arrived to the house on Griffin Road about 10:30 yesterday morning. The fire had burned about a half an acre of land, as you can see from that video right there. Luckily, it didn't reach the home. Fire crews were able to get that fire under control before it spread too far, and they were also able to stop it from spreading to other buildings.
And that wasn't the only fire. This one happened at a home on Hicks Road near Grandview. This fire spread to the front and backyards of the home, as well as some trees in the neighboring yard. It also spread to the road where some embers ignited another small patch of grass on a neighbor's yard.
Continuing our coverage this morning on a Tri-Cities man who was taken into custody during an interview related to his pending immigration application. Now this morning, we've learned that Sergio Sardio Gomez has been denied citizenship during a hearing in Tacoma. His wife, Gabby, is releasing a statement saying, quote, "It was very sad and pathetic what our lawyer did. He didn't know anything about our case." Sergio was denied to stay in the United States. Now, she also says that she is not giving up and she does plan to seek new legal representation. noting that she will continue to run their food truck, Hibachi Explosion. And she says her husband is currently now in Mexico at the home of his family. And within the next couple of weeks, she is hoping that her family can all reunite.
And Columbia Center Boulevard in Kennewick is usually a busy street filled with shoppers or people looking for a bite to eat. But over the weekend, hundreds of people flocked to line the streets in protest.
Apple Valley News Now's Monique Ledesma tells us what the protest was all about and how local law enforcement handled the crowd.
The people who lined Columbia Center Boulevard in Kennewick over the weekend joining in a protest in cities across the nation. Indivisible Tri-Cities organized a local No Kings protest, and hundreds of people turned out. What is a No Kings protest? It's not just about one thing, the group says.
Of all the other things that have been going on in the last couple of weeks in terms of the reconciliation bill, the veteran affairs, the threat to the environment, and the list goes on and on. But really big today is defend our democracy.
Protesters say they showed up to make sure people know they can speak out.
I want to set an example and tell people that may be scared that you have a whole community here that's willing to stand up for you, protect you, and be by your side if things do go wrong.
I really come to understand that we're strongest when we're together, and being confident and being together is the way we speak out and we have our voices heard.
I think if enough people stand up and see us standing up, people on the middle ground or people that are afraid will stand up too, and eventually we'll get to the point where this administration will have to give power back to the people.
I think like a lot of people were not happy with some of the direction that the country's going in. And one way we can show that is by gathering together like this and letting our feelings being known. And there truly is strength in numbers.
Within the traffic, Kennewick Police patrol cars keeping a watchful eye on what was happening. KPD's Commander Isaac Merkel says when it comes to protesting, it's important to keep safety in mind and obey the law.
The main thing is get your message out there that you want to get out there, but do it in a safe and respectful manner. You can't be blocking traffic. You can't be blocking people's right through a sidewalk, damaging businesses. Any of that stuff is the wrong way of doing it. Getting out there with your signs and your flags and your message that you want to get out there respectfully is what we would ask anybody to do, and they did a great job this weekend doing that.
Commander Merkel says KPD was able to monitor the protests as well as do the regular patrols on Saturday. Reporting in Kennewick, Monique Ledesma, Apple Valley News Now.
And there were nearly 2,000 marches, nearly 5 million people taking part in them across the nation in the No Kings protests. Of course, we'll keep you updated as more information comes in on them.
And now I go to Pasco, where home improvement just got easier. The City Council has approved changes that cut down on permit requirements for common projects. You no longer need a permit for things like roof or siding replacement, small sheds, certain decks, driveways, fences, and awnings, as long as they meet size and location limits. Even without permits, projects still have to follow building codes. Residents can contact the city for guidance. However, last year, city staff spent a lot of time processing these types of permits.
We had processed 881 such permits, so that's quite a bit for staff time when you add in taking in the permit, reviewing it, issuing it. That is estimated to save staff up to 40 hours per week collectively.
The city says the goal is to reduce red tape while keeping safety standards in place. Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, President Trump with a clear message to people living in Tehran: immediately evacuate. And this comes as Israel's prime minister says he will not rule out trying to kill Iran's supreme leader. And coming up, we'll have the latest in the growing conflict between the two countries.
And we want to say hello and give you that live look outside this morning for our Yakima Federal Cams here at the Apple Valley Studios in Kennewick, where I'm sitting, where you just saw. I'm here too. We're all here this morning. Beautiful start to the day. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth can be back with your first alert forecast after the break.
This 4th of July, celebrate the freedom to roam with Broadmoor RV, where every mile brings you closer to what matters most. From family road trips to quiet nights under the stars, your next adventure starts here. Proudly serving the Northwest with unbeatable selection, service, and spirit. This Independence Day, go further, dream bigger, and drive free. Broadmoor RV, we make camping fun.
At Smoke City for Less, we understand every smoker is unique. Explore our over 1,500 vape flavors and specialty curated selection of tobacco products. Your perfect flavor and blend awaits at any of Smoke City for Less 6 locations. Save your pennies. Smoke City for Less has the lowest prices. Find the best vape mods, batteries, kratom, and specialty products too. Our knowledgeable staff is always on hand to provide personalized recommendations. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
Have you heard about refractive lens exchange? K2 Vision RLE means no glasses, no contacts, and no readers permanently. And you'll never develop a cataract.
No glasses or readers. K2 Vision RLE.
Win and save with Lucky Number Tuesday at Buy-Mart. Just by matching your ending number, you can win Turtle Wax Dash and Glass Detailer. Plus, save with Tuesday-only pricing and buy it for $3.99. Win and save on Lucky Number Tuesday only at Buy-Mart.
Looking for a trusted professional to guide you through your real estate endeavors? Carrie Lundgren with River Realty is ready to guide you through the process. As a lifelong Tri-Cities resident with 35 years real estate experience, she has the knowledge, dedication, and enthusiasm to make your real estate dreams come true. Whether you are buying your first home, moving up or scaling back, or looking for an investment, she has got you covered. Call Carrie today at 509-948-0580 and start making your dreams a reality.
Your life matters, and there are people ready to listen. Together as schools, law enforcement, faith leaders, and community members, we are committed to making sure no young person feels alone.
Never a bother. Never a bother. Never a bother. Never a bother.
Visit neverabother.org for resources and support, and remember, you are never a bother.
An amazing garden on Fly the Northwest tonight at 6. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We have a fire weather watch that's in place for tomorrow. Keep in mind, this is for tomorrow, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. And this is technically outside of our viewing area. This includes Chelan County, Douglas County, Grant County, Adams County, in addition to Columbia, Garfield, and Asotin counties. All of those technically outside of our viewing area, but we'll be it's close enough, so we'll be watching with vested interest. Let's take it back to this morning. Temperatures in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, just kind of depending on the microclimate. And Kittitas County, then in the Yakima Valley, most of us in the mid to upper 50s. In the lower Columbia Basin, seeing 50s and 60s, 62 this morning in the Tri-Cities. Also 50s and 60s for the Blue Foothills, and 40s and 50s for the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. Here's your CoCast for today for the Tri-Cities. Light jacket stuff for this morning, mid-70s as soon as 10 a.m. and then up into the 80s, perhaps touching 90. I'm technically going with us falling short of 90 degrees in the Tri-Cities, but still very warm. It'll be about 5 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. And then we'll get cooled off a little bit more with a series of cold fronts throughout the course of this week. Here's the first one we're going to be dealing with, and we'll put this in motion. This is midnight as we transition into tomorrow. Could have a few showers up along the Cascade Ridgeline, but to the east of there, not only dry, but also looks like we stay clear as well. But to the east of there will be impacts in the form of some stronger wind gusts. I'll tell you just how strong coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, Josh. 13 minutes after 6 now. Taking a look at your national headlines this morning, where President Trump ended his trip at the G7 summit in Canada early so that he could head back to Washington.
And the White House pointing to the intensifying situation in the Middle East and the conflict between Israel and Iran just escalating.
Perry Russum has the details from Washington.
This morning, President Trump rushing back to Washington as the conflict between Israel and Iran escalates. Trump leaving the G7 summit in Canada early, with the National Security Council set to meet in the Situation Room.
You probably see what I see, and I have to be back as soon as I can.
Before leaving Canada, Trump posting online, everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. Overnight, long lines of vehicles leaving the Iranian capital, traffic backed up for what appears to be miles. It comes after Israel attacked Iran's state-run TV station during a live broadcast. Israel claiming civilians had been warned to evacuate. At least 222 people have been killed in Iran since the attack started Friday. Meanwhile, Iran launching hundreds of missiles toward Israel At least 24 people killed in Israel so far. Israel says his attacks on Iran's military and nuclear sites are essential to stopping Tehran from building a nuclear weapon. In an interview with ABC's Jonathan Karl, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu not ruling out trying to kill Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei.
It's not going to escalate the conflict, it's going to end the conflict. We've had half a century of conflict spread by this regime that terrorizes everyone in the Middle East.
And Benjamin Netanyahu is saying that the airstrikes have set back Iran's nuclear program for a very long time.
And this comes as the Pentagon is now moving another aircraft carrier to the region and sending refueling planes to Europe.
Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, we're going to check in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth. He's going to have a look at how your week is shaping up as we make our way into it, giving you a live look outside from our Yakima Federal camera here at the Apple Valley Studios in Kennewick, 6:15. We're back after the break.
Tuesdays are my favorite day of the week because the single pop of burger combos are just $5.99. And I wait all week for this.
And so do I.
And that's why I always get two.
The Tuesday special at A&W.
The Coliseum in Rome had their gladiator games, but it can't compete with Legends Casino Hotel's Coliseum of Cash. During our Summer of Games Thursday drawings in June, we're giving away over $77,000 in cash, plus a new Kawasaki side-by-side. Just use your Legends rewards card to earn entries. Who needs Roman chariot races when you can leave them all in the dust in a Kawasaki side-by-side? All hail Legends Casino Hotel in June, and let this Summer of Games begin.
For 25 years, you've made Triple Play more than just a place to play. You've turned it into a place where memories are made. We want to thank our amazing guests and community. From birthday parties to company outings and spontaneous weekend adventures, your memories are what make Triple Play special. Here's to 25 years of fun and many more to come. Thank you for being part of our story.
Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. At my law firm, we have a team that knows big truck wrecks. Big truck insurance companies know that we have the knowledge and experience to get you paid everything you deserve. Call the heavy hitter. When I call the insurance companies, they listen. Hit by a big truck, I know how to beat their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
It's hump day, and you know what that means. Hello, Country Fried Steak. Get a delicious meal for just $5.99 and make your Wednesday feel like the weekend. Yes, Wednesdays only, Country Fried Steak is just $5.99. Happy hump day from KFC.
A flight over some amazing flowers.
Modeled after formal European-style gardens.
Summer Gardens on Fly the Northwest.
There's not much like it in the Northwest.
Apple Valley News Now at 6 tonight.
The most common types of selfies are earning names for themselves. Pet selfies.
I love when our pets take selfies. Next live, Chris Hemsworth plus Ego Odom.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Early warnings, accurate forecasts.
Apple Valley News Now, first alert weather.
From Apple Valley News Now, first alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today's going to be a beautiful day, lots of sunshine all across the map. It's going to be very warm out there. We'll be about 5 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. 80s and 90s for lower elevation, 60s up in the Cascades, and 60s, 70s, and 80s even in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. Winds will be a factor for today, not as much as yesterday, but still peak gusts could be around 35 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, 25 miles per hour in the Tri-Cities. For tonight, after midnight, could have a few showers up in the Cascades, but to the east of there, not just dry, but the sky is going to remain crystal clear, and overnight lows down into the 50s for lower elevations, 40s up in the Cascades, 40s and 50s up in the Blues. Now for Wednesday, much stronger wind gusts. These are going to be comparable to what we just had yesterday. Peak gusts around 45 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. That peak time frame 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. It could be breezy or windy before this, but just keep in mind that's going to be the main show. And then for Friday, so Thursday, a little bit of a break. Friday, more strong wind gusts out of the north and west, peaking around 45 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, 45 miles per hour for the Bluefoot Hills of Morrow County. So in these conditions, of course, we're always concerned about vegetation fires starting and spreading quickly. We'll keep a very close eye on that, but thankfully our vegetation is going to get some relief in the form of some much cooler high temperatures. We'll be about 10 degrees cooler than normal by Saturday. High temperatures rebound after that, but a nice little reprieve from the heat, not just cooler into this weekend, also wetter. Could have some showers out and about for Friday. Saturday looking like it's going to be the day that'll be much more impacted, and we could have some lingering wet weather into Sunday as well. It doesn't look like it's going to be a washout for this weekend, but some outdoor plans could be impacted, especially on Saturday. Here's the 7-day forecast in the Tri-Cities. Winds picking up Wednesday, breezy again for Friday and Saturday as highs go down and rain chances go up. In Yakima, cooling off to around 70 degrees on Saturday as rain chances turn likely, and then drier and warmer for Sunday and Monday. In Ellensburg, windy weather ahead, of course, but the strongest winds will be reserved for Wednesday and Friday. In Hermiston, cooling off throughout the week with highs hitting rock bottom on Saturday, and that's when rain chances will be their best. Then for Walla Walla, highs dropping into the mid-60s this weekend as rain chances will essentially be 50-50 for both Saturday and Sunday.
Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, thousands gathering for a one-of-a-kind soccer lesson. The result, breaking world records. We have a look at the full story in what's trending today. It's 6:21. We're back after the break.
Boom! Looks like T-Pain is too much for y'all.
Did I hear munch?
Sounds like someone's craving his new Munchie Meal.
Wait, do you just appear whenever somebody says munch?
Why, is that weird? Get T-Pain's new Tater Melt Munchie Meal.
Munch!
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Welcome to Nob Hill Casino in Yakima. Experience the thrill of our Vegas-style casino, featuring the friendliest dealers in town. Join our Players Club and earn exciting rewards. Enjoy games like Blackjack, Pai Gow, and High Card Flush. While you're here, don't forget to unwind with a drink at our cozy bar or enjoy a meal from our restaurant. Come discover Yakima's ultimate entertainment destination, Nob Hill Casino, where the locals play.
Like most people, my days are nonstop. When I'm working, I need to stay focused, not worried about my finances. That's why I went looking for a bank that makes managing my money effortless. Apple was exactly what I needed. Helpful people with easy-to-use tools. Now, I spend less time stressing about money and more time doing the things I enjoy. Where do you credit union?
Right now at US Cellular, you can get 4 free phones plus 4 lines for $90.
Hey, we're tired of having the wool pulled over our eyes with these hidden requirements. What aren't we seeing?
Yeah. Do we get our choice of free phones?
Yep, you get the latest phones.
I bet we have to trade in our old phones, though.
Nope, sure don't.
Wow.
High five. Almost. Higher. Yes. Nope.
Get 4 phones plus 4 lines for $90 with no trade-in, and we'll pay off your current contract when you switch. US Cellular, built for us.
Summer's heating up. That means it's time to dive in. Pasco's Memorial Aquatic Park opens Saturday, June 14th. Get signed up for swim lessons. Grab your season passes and don't miss your chance to join the Pasco swim team. Looking to cool off? Open swim runs daily from 1 to 5:45 p.m. So grab the family and come make a splash. It's all happening at the Pasco Memorial Aquatic Park. Your summer fun starts here.
I've decided you need more flavor in your life. Introducing my new barbecue potato chip flavored and chili crisp flavored seasoned curly fries for just $3.50. I've also decided you need more fries in your life, in case that wasn't obvious. Get so much more under $4. Welcome to Jack in the Box.
An amazing garden on Fly the Northwest tonight at 6.
Welcome back. 6:23, taking a look at what's trending this morning. A years-long copyright battle between Ed Sheeran and representatives for Marvin Gaye has finally come to an end.
The Supreme Court has declined to hear a copyright suit against the pop star. It was filed by a company that claimed his Grammy-winning single, Thinking Out Loud, copied the classic Marvin Gaye song called Let's Get It On.
In declining to hear the appeal, the Supreme Court left in place a decision from the New York-based Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals siding with Sheeran. The question put forth to the justices was whether the appeals court gave too much deference to the U.S. Copyright Office interpretation of the Copyright Act of 1909, which we're all familiar with.
I know it like the back of my hand.
Yep.
And also trending this morning, a Guinness World Record was broken right here in Washington State.
Yeah, that's right. It was on the Seattle waterfront. Over 1,000 people participated in a 30-minute soccer lesson.
Brandon Thompson has the details on the largest soccer lesson in the world.
Second round, you're going to beat your score from before.
The drill is simple.
We wanted to be part of the world record.
The record for largest soccer lesson ever. And the result?
With 1,038 people,
it feels amazing. Yeah.
A Father's Day gift like no other.
Elated. It's a beautiful feeling. We're in the record books, right?
And it'd be cool, you know, to see that in a book one day and look back and say, oh, I was there for that.
More than 1,000 people taking part.
What I love about this is we're in an amazing venue. Like, we couldn't be in a more beautiful place on a more perfect day.
It's the start of a year of footy fever leading up to the 6 matches Seattle will host for the FIFA World Cup next year.
Gosh, they love soccer, and it's happening in our city, so we gotta support and just feel the vibe and be here.
Those vibes starting tonight with the Club World Cup, where American soccer clubs host clubs from throughout the world.
Oh, we were just so excited to be a part of this and bring this like once-in-a-lifetime chance to our kids and for them to experience this.
These fans ready for the teams to take the pitch.
Oh yeah, I already have tickets to the Saint Germain game. Yeah.
We're going to, what is it?
Atletico de Madrid against Sounders. And I think it's pretty special for them to come here and play in Seattle. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Putting Seattle on the world stage.
And I just hope that people see how amazing our city is. I'm so proud of where we live and where we're bringing up our children.
Beautiful Seattle day. It is exciting to have the World Cup coming.
So many people there.
I know.
That's surprising.
And like the one guy said, you know, it'll be fun. This will be in a book. It'll be fun to look back on that book. And I was there.
Yeah, for the kids especially too.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. An investigation's underway after a house fire sparked over the weekend. We'll let you know where they're at in the investigation.
And it's an annual tradition for Tri-City American ticket holders. The special greetings set up for fans this week. We've got the details coming up in your next half hour.
It's the Click It RV Roll Into Summer sales event going on now at your local Click It RV store with huge manufacturer's discounts from Forest River, StarCraft, and more. Get zero down, nothing, and no payments for 6 months. And get top dollar for your trade. And talk about giveaways. Win a StarCraft trailer or $30,000 in cash. You can beat the coming tariffs, but nobody beats a Click It RV deal. We guarantee it. So don't miss the Roll Into Summer sales event at your local Click It RV store. Spokane, Milton, Freewater, Moses Lake, and Union Gap.
At Columbia Basin Oral and Maxillofacial Surgeons, your safety is our top priority. We are the only board-certified oral and maxillofacial surgery experts in wisdom tooth removal and dental implant placement in the Tri-Cities. With years of experience and a commitment to excellence, we ensure every patient receives safe, personalized treatment. Ask your dentist to refer you to the Tri-Cities experts in oral surgery, Columbia Basin Oral and Maxillofacial Surgeons. We look forward to meeting you.
At Bruce Heating & Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating & Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through June 30th, receive rebates up to $4,500 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating & Air.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Get employee pricing plus 1.9% and $4,500 bonus cash on a 2024 Ford F-150 STX. Only at your local Ford dealer.
In an instant, your world can shatter.
At Quantum Legal, we understand injuries can be an immense burden, taking a toll on your body and leaving you drowning in medical expenses. Battling insurance companies without legal representation will make matters worse. We are committed to advocating for your deserved compensation. Quantum Legal, where compassion meets justice.
To me, Harlem is home. But home is also your body.
Last one, everyone.
I asked myself, why doesn't Pilates exist in Harlem? So I started my own studio. Getting a brick and mortar in New York is not easy. Chase Inc. has supported us from Studio 1 to Studio 3. When you start small, you need some big help, and Chase Inc. was that for me.
Earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials with the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
Early warnings, accurate forecasts.
Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Good morning. Thanks for waking up with us. Joining us here for Good Morning Northwest, I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
You're crushing it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
1,175.
Good brief interaction. I like that. Yeah. Well, here's a real insecurity. I struggle with reading numbers sometimes when there's too many numbers. So like I'll just say like 1175, but it's actually 1,000.
I wanted to say 1175.
Yeah, that's
I thought
easier.
I'd be proper.
Rolls off the $1,175. And that's what the jackpot's up to right now, courtesy of our good friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel. So yesterday went with a forecast high of 91 in Pasco. Tri-Cities have verified right at 91. And so for today, a little bit cooler in Pasco. Tri-Cities going with a forecast high of 88. If it verifies between 85 to 91, the jackpot's going to hit 1,200. If that doesn't happen, the jackpot could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page, or you could scan the QR code that's on your screen. Now what's on your screen is a live look at Richland. This view also coming courtesy of our good friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel. A lot of blue up in the sky, green on the ground. We love to see that, and blue down on the river as well. Peak gusts starting to pick up a little bit more now in Hermiston and in the Kittitas Valley. It's been gusty all morning. These are really going to start to ramp up after 2 p.m. Thankfully, they're not going to be as strong as yesterday. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s for lower elevations, 30s and 40s up in the Cascades, and 40s and 50s up in the Blues. All of us going to need a light jacket for this morning, but of course it's going to be a lot of t-shirt weather a little bit later in the day. In fact, as soon as 10 this morning in the Tri-Cities, it'll be sunny and essentially 75, and then we'll end up around 90 degrees, 5 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. So 4 lower elevations, most of us in the mid to upper 80s. And I'll take you on that zone by zone tour of today's gorgeous forecast. Also, I'll show you what our vegetation dryness is looking like. So all that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks so much, Josh. And we begin this morning in Kennewick, where the fire department is continuing to investigate a house fire that broke out over the weekend. Take a look at video from the scene. It broke out just before 4 o'clock Saturday morning. When crews got there, the house was fully engulfed in flames, and some areas of the backyard were also on fire. It took crews about a half hour to get that fire contained and under control. The house is a total loss. Luckily, the people inside were able to get out safely, but again, the cause still under investigation this morning. And Umatilla County Fire is reminding people that burning season is closed and will be until September 30th. Fire officials say right now is peak wildfire season and that in the district service area, burning of any kind is closed. If you choose to ignore the notice, you can be fined up to $250 or the cost of what it takes fire officials to fight the wildfire. That includes reimbursing the district for the apparatus and personnel. The burn policy does not apply to barbecue type equipment, and if you do recreational burning, ceremonial fires, or ag burns, you need permission and a special permit for those. The city of Kennewick is asking its residents to help shape the future of the community, and it starts with a quick online survey. Kennewick is updating its comprehensive plan. It's a long-term guide for how the city will grow through 2046. Now, the city is asking people who live, work, or own property in Kennewick to share their input through a brief survey, which is now available on the city's website.
And we just want members of our community to make sure they take the survey so that we get all their hopes and their vision for the future in Kennewick captured.
Survey only takes a few minutes to fill out, and it'll help guide future decisions on housing, transportation, and economic development. All right, if you've ever wanted to upgrade your view for the Americans hockey games, now's your chance. The team is hosting a 3-day Meet Your Seat event at the Toyota Center, and everyone's invited. It kicked off yesterday. It'll run through today and tomorrow. Fans can stop by the Toyota Center between noon and 6. You'll have a chance to check out different seat options, meet with account execs, and even relocate your current seats or become brand new season ticket holders. Plus, the team store is open. There are going to be raffle prizes and some snacks to enjoy while you browse your seats.
We miss hockey when it's over, and we kind of look forward to it coming up in the fall. So it's a great way just to get back in the arena, get back face-to-face with fans, have them kind of check out their seat and kind of see what's going to be ahead for this next season.
So again, the event runs through tomorrow, noon to 6. And best of all, you don't need a ticket to check it out. You can just head over to the Toyota Center and meet your seat.
Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, tick season is here, and if you don't want to be trapped inside when the weather is nice, then you'll want to tick around, because coming up we have tips on how you can limit the number of ticks that are crawling around in your backyard.
And giving you that live look outside this morning from our Legend Sky Cam at Richland's Columbia Point, overlooking that iconic paddle boat docked at Howard Amen. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert will be back with your First Alert forecast after the break.
An amazing garden on Fly the Northwest tonight at 6.
Hello, Shelby.
Hello, Mariano.
Upload Mrs. Robinson's case.
Processing.
Is there any new information?
The insurance offer is too low. Should I ask for more?
You know, when they hear from the heavy hitter, they'll pay much more.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
This summer, Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos is heating things up with incredible savings on every piano in our showroom. Take advantage of special bundles on our digital models. Enjoy savings on both new and used options. Get up to $10,000 off on select grand pianos. Enjoy 0% financing for 12 months, and every purchase includes free delivery in Tri-Cities. The hottest part, our 2-day summer sale event happens June 26th and 27th only. Turn up the heat and visit Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos today.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. From the Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand, right now you can get a 2.99% APR on a 2025 Pilot.
Today, too many of us walk away from our primary care appointments feeling rushed and unheard.
We were frustrated too, so we decided to change the quality of healthcare here in the Tri-Cities.
At Primary Care at the PC, we take the time to truly listen. With 1-hour-long appointments, we care about the whole you. You don't have to be a member to be our patient, but once you're here, you might want to be.
Now welcoming new patients. Book your appointments online or call us at 509-783-5465. Primary Care at the PC. Play hard, live well.
Meet the Moore family. They switched from cable internet to Ziply Fiber and got so much more. Mr. Moore got more upload speed for next level gaming and live streaming to the masses. Mason Moore got even more done for his sneaker business, quickly uploading HD product demos and video conferencing without freezing.
Brad, you're on mute.
And now that her family doesn't need her for tech support, Mrs. Moore has more time to stream games into overtime.
Let's go!
Get more of what you love by switching to Ziply Fiber for $65 less per month than cable at ziplyfiber.com.
Hello, Shelby.
Hello, Mariano.
Upload Mrs. Robinson's case.
Processing.
Is there any new information?
The insurance offer is too low. Should I ask for more?
You know, when they hear from the heavy hitter, they'll pay much more.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
Warm months bring dangerous storms, many with lightning.
With advanced forecasting technology, trust the First Alert weather team to keep you ahead of the storm and help keep your family safe.
Apple Valley News Now, First Alert weather, always on your side.
The most common types of selfies are earning names for themselves. Pet selfies.
I love when our pets take selfies.
Next live, Chris Hemsworth plus Ego Odom.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today is going to be a gorgeous day out there. Thankfully, the wind's not going to be as strong as yesterday. That being said, it's still going to be windy today in the Kittitas Valley. Peak gust around 35 miles per hour. High is going to be in the mid-80s. In the Yakima Valley, peak gust around 15 to 20 miles per hour. Highs in the mid to upper 80s. Plenty of sunshine. And then for the lower Columbia Basin, maybe some of us touching 90, especially up towards the Hanford site. Breezy and also sunny here. Then for the Blue Foothills, low to mid 80s for the Morrow County foothills, mid 80s for the Umatilla and Walla Walla County foothills, and then 60s and 70s, maybe even some low 80s there towards Ukiah. But in general, for the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains, 60s and 70s, and it could be breezy today in the foothills, peak gust out of the west around 30 miles per hour. Here is today's vegetation dryness forecast, and keep in mind that these have been adjusted for typical dryness levels per microclimate. Seeing a lot of red, and red is not good on this map. That means critical dryness in the Cascades and the upper Yakima Basin, in the Kittitas Valley, Yakima Valley, lower Columbia Basin, and Blue Foothills, and even an elevated level of dryness in some of these other locations, Cascades, lower Yakima Basin, and for the Blue Mountains. Thankfully, I think this map is going to improve. Hopefully, we'll see some more yellows and greens as we head into this weekend as high temperatures going down, rain chances going up. I'll show you both of those storylines coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Now, as temperatures rise and climate patterns are shifting, tick season is starting earlier, lasting longer, and reaching places it hasn't before, including right in your own backyard.
There is some good news, though. There are some simple steps you can take to protect yourself and your pets. Consumer Reports has expert advice to help you stay safe.
You might expect ticks on a hike in the woods, but they could be lurking much closer to home. Your own backyard could be a hot spot too. Consumer Reports' Paul Hope says a few simple steps can help keep your yard tick-free. It starts with the grass.
Ticks love tall grass and dark shaded areas, so in general we recommend that you keep your grass cut to about 3 inches. We generally recommend mulching your grass clippings, but if you live in an area with a lot of ticks, it might be a good idea to bag them instead.
Blow away or remove leaves, leaf piles, and other debris that could be used as shade for ticks in your grass.
If your property is surrounded by a large wooded area, putting up a fence can help keep out deer, which transmit ticks.
If installing a fence isn't an option, CR says you can create an obstacle for the ticks. Use dry wood chips or gravel to make a 3-foot barrier between your lawn and any woody areas. It adds a dry, hot perimeter that ticks don't like. Pro tip: don't use shredded mulch, because that can get damp, which is what ticks like. Next, trim tall grasses, weeds, and low-hanging branches around your property. You may be tempted to spray your whole yard with pesticides, but don't, CR says.
A better and more targeted approach is to use something like tick tubes, which have a small amount of poison that coats the skin of mice, can kill ticks, and reduce the population after several years of use.
Whatever prevention steps you take, one rule always applies. After spending time outdoors, check yourself and your pets for ticks. It's a simple habit that can make a big difference. This is Teresa Hope.
So the CDC does recommend showering and checking your body within a few hours after being in what could be tick-prone areas.
And this can help wash away any ticks on your body that have not yet attached, and some ticks are no bigger than a poppy seed, so pay close attention when checking.
All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up next, we have your morning sprint. Everything you need to know as you head out the door this morning, and giving you a live look outside from our Legends Casino and Hotel Sky camera there at Richland's Columbia Point. Beautiful view of the mighty Columbia. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert will be back with your full First Alert forecast.
Tuesdays are my favorite day of the week because the single pop of burger combos are just $5.99. And I wait all week for this.
And so do I.
And that's why I always get two.
The Tuesday special at A&W.
Welcome to Nob Hill Casino in Yakima. Experience the thrill of our Vegas-style casino, featuring the friendliest dealers in town. Join our Players Club and earn exciting rewards. Enjoy games like Blackjack, Pai Gow, and High Card Flush. While you're here, don't forget to unwind with a drink at our cozy bar or enjoy a meal from our restaurant. Come discover Yakima's ultimate entertainment destination, Nob Hill Casino, where the locals play.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
My name is Lauren Martin. I started to work out at Hanford in 1982, and for 20 years I worked with the fleet, repairing cranes, locomotives, cars, ambulances, fire trucks, everything. After 20 years, then I came down with a disease. There are some very, very expensive drugs, and my copay on that is $0. All I have to do is pick up the phone, and it's there.
So we'll definitely evaluate their past employment. As a registered nurse myself, I'll look through their medical records and I'll look to see maybe what medical conditions they have, and we'll be very upfront with them, honest about whether they do have a claim that could warrant benefits or not, and just kind of let them know what those next steps are, the timeline of how long it could take for them to get approved.
Okay, bye.
I met a cute poodle outside.
Oh, really?
She said everyone's talking about you and how you work for free. That can't be true.
Sure it is. When you're injured and have the heavy hitter on your team, we win or it's free.
Free?
Yeah. You don't pay us a penny unless we win for you.
That's doggone crazy.
Hello? Yeah, sure. That cute poodle you were talking to wants to have a play date.
Let's go.
The heavy hitter is one for you. Call 853-2222.
Since 1983, Nissan has been assembling award-winning vehicles for you, right here in America. And we're committed to keeping our lineup affordable and free from new tariffs. That's why we've lowered MSRP on our best-selling Rogue and Pathfinder. So you can get the car you want, at the price you want, knowing Nissan is here for you at the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the 2025 Nissan Rogue or Pathfinder.
It's hump day, and you know what that means. Hello, Country Fried Steak. Get a delicious meal for just $5.99 to make your Wednesday feel like the weekend. Yes, Wednesdays only, Country Fried Steak is just $5.99. Happy hump day from KFC.
Operation Best Friend, sponsored by As You Wish Real Estate Services, Christine Connolly, Realtor.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Hello, welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today is going to be a beautiful day, lots of sunshine across the map, and high temperature is going to be about 5 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. 80s and 90s for lower elevations, 60s up in the Cascades, and 60s and 70s in the Blues. Winds will be a factor for today, but not as much as yesterday. So we're just going to hand wave the winds for now, but more on the horizon. More on that in a second. All right, for tonight, after midnight, could have a few showers up in the Cascades, but to the east of there, not only do we stay dry, but sky's going to stay clear. Overnight lows down into the 50s for lower elevations, 40s up in the Cascades, 40s and 50s in the Blues. Here are the stronger wind gusts that I promised. Wednesday, 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. Keep in mind it could be breezy or windy before then, but at the peak of the peak gusts could be around 45 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. The wind's going to die off a little bit for Thursday, but they'll resurge for Friday. Once again, out of the north and west, around 45 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. Peak gusts around 45 miles per hour in the Morrow County foothills. So this is going to be due to several cold fronts passing throughout the course of this week. And you see, just kind of incrementally, we'll cool off as we head into this weekend, ending up at about 10 degrees cooler than normal by the time we get to Saturday. Now, high temperature is going to rebound into Sunday and Monday, but we like to see this around this time of the year. That means that our vegetation not going to be as stressed by the sunshine and by the heat. Now, as we cool off into this weekend, rain chance is going to go up, especially for Saturday. It doesn't look like it's going to be a washout, but outdoor plans could be impacted. Could even see a few thunderstorms in the Blue Mountains. Sunday, a little bit drier, and then much drier for Monday. Stay tuned for all that. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Winds picking up Wednesday, breezy again for Friday and Saturday as highs go down and as rain chances go up. In Yakima, cooling off to around 70 degrees on Saturday as rain chances turn likely, drier and warmer for Sunday and Monday. Then in Ellensburg, windy weather ahead, of course, but the strongest winds will be reserved for Wednesday and Friday. In Hermiston, cooling off throughout the week with highs hitting rock bottom on Saturday, and that's when rain chances will be their best. Then in Walla Walla, highs dropping into the mid-60s this weekend as rain chances will essentially be 50-50 for both Saturday and Sunday. Now let's head out to New York City to see what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, all eyes on the jury in the Karen Read murder trial.
Karen, how are you feeling?
What's believed to be the largest crowd yet of Reed supporters flocking the courthouse as the first full day of deliberations ended. The jury being tasked to decide whether Reed is guilty of hitting her police officer boyfriend, John O'Keefe, with her SUV and leaving him to die in the snow after a night of drinking, which she denies. The high-profile case gripping the nation. O'Keefe's close friends, Brendan Kane and John Jackson, telling GMA that this time around they are hopeful justice will prevail.
You're fighting an uphill fight, despite the fact that all the evidence points in exclusively one direction.
We're hoping that this jury has been presented with, the truth.
And coming up at 7 a.m., legal expert Dan Abrams weighs in live with your GMA First Look. I'm Matt Gutman, ABC News.
That was just denied without a...
My generalized myasthenia gravis was unpredictable and limited what I could do. But Ultomiris is continuous symptom control with improvement in activities of daily living. It is reduced muscle weakness. And Ultomiris is the only long-acting GMG treatment with the freedom of just 6 to 7 infusions per year for a predictable routine I can count on.
Ultomiris may lower your immune system's ability to fight infections, increasing your chance of serious meningococcal and other infections which may become life-threatening or fatal. Complete or update meningococcal vaccines at least 2 weeks before you start. If treatment is urgent and you're not vaccinated, you should receive antibiotics with your vaccines. Don't start if you have a meningococcal infection. Infusion reactions may include back, belly, limb, or chest pain, muscle spasms, blood pressure changes, tiredness, shaking chills, bad taste, breathing problems, or face, tongue, or throat swelling. Ultomiris is continuous symptom control. Talk to your neurologist today.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is now 6:51. It's time for your morning sprint, and we want to start off with your national headlines.
Yeah, a federal judge has ruled that the Trump administration violated the law when it canceled hundreds of research grants for the National Institutes of Health. The judge saying the administration's actions were illegal and discriminatory.
Some of the funding cuts affected research that explored race and gender identity. The judge ordered the grants restored, and lawyers for the federal government had previously argued the grant terminations were sufficiently reasoned. The Trump administration is expected to appeal yesterday's ruling.
6:51, taking a look at your business headlines. Facebook's parent company Meta has changed its mind. They say WhatsApp will no longer be ad-free. The app will now feature promos in the update section. They say roughly 1.5 billion people use that feature in the app every day. Officials say WhatsApp will gather some data on its users, including location and default language, to help determine which ads should be targeted.
In your health headlines, the Supreme Court has agreed to hear arguments over whether states may subpoena faith-based pregnancy centers. First Choice Women's Resources Centers run 5 crisis pregnancy centers in New Jersey, and the nonprofit is fighting a subpoena from New Jersey's Democratic Attorney General in 2023 as part of an investigation into whether it violated consumer fraud laws. In addition, the Supreme Court threw out a decision by a New York court that had required religious groups to cover abortions in their health insurance coverage.
Talking sports at 6:52. It was a tough game for the Seattle Mariners as they went toe-to-toe with the Boston Red Sox. The Sox quickly adding a run to the scoreboard, and before the M's knew it, they were leaving the field with nothing on the boards. Final score 2-0. Seattle will have a chance for redemption tonight. And now your top 5 local stories that you need to know this morning as you head out the door, taking you to Kennewick, where police are continuing to investigate a crash that killed a 61-year-old man crossing the street on Gage Boulevard. It happened yesterday morning between Louisiana Street and Grand Ridge Boulevard. The driver involved has not yet been charged, but the investigation is ongoing, and police are asking that if you saw anything to come forward.
In Yakima, a 66-year-old man was found shot to death Sunday morning. Police arrested a 38-year-old man at the scene for first-degree murder charges. The two reportedly lived at the same property on Pleasant Avenue, and officers say this was an isolated incident.
And back in the Tri-Cities, Sergio Gomez, who was taken into custody during an immigration interview, has now been denied citizenship. His wife, Gabby, saying their lawyer mishandled the case. Sergio is currently in Mexico. Gabby says she plans to continue operating their food truck, Hibachi Explosion, while seeking new legal help.
In Umatilla County, burning season is officially closed until September 30th. According to officials, violators could face a $250 fine or be billed for full firefighting costs if a wildfire breaks out. Exceptions only apply to permitted ceremonial or ag burns.
And hockey fans, don't miss this. It's time to meet your seat. The event happens at the Toyota Center through Wednesday from noon to 6. You can check out seat options, meet team staff, win prizes. You don't need a ticket to go. Just show up and find your perfect view for the games. 6:54 and trending this morning, a traveler in Virginia receiving a late night four-legged surprise this week.
So it was an alligator, roughly 6 feet long, just outside of a motel room in Huntington. A person who was on the other side of the door called Fairfax County authorities early yesterday.
I guess by definition, a four-legged
that's a
frame?
dinosaur.
Sure.
Nope.
Well, the officers located the large reptile and found its owner, who was transporting.
He's an owner?
Well, okay, hold on. I've got a few questions. Yes.
I'm sorry, this is a Florida man.
Well, he was transporting the gator from New York to a zoo in North Carolina.
And who's that person just walking next to that gator like they're on a little evening stroll together? Like the shoeless
He's
person.
like, see you later, alligator.
Absolutely
no.
Hey, remember
Shoeless person. Okay, that tracks.
Remember to walk the alligators during the morning when it's not too hot outside,
Yeah, so it doesn't burn their paws.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh gosh.
Okay,
Police were able to get the situation under control. They were safely able to escort that alligator and the owner outside of town.
Okay, the owner walking next to the alligator makes it look really cute. Like, oh, it's just,
Does it?
It was
Does it make
walking
it look
kind of cute. Well, when it's next to a person and he's just minding his business,
Until he's not.
Until he's not. I just don't want it, next to me, unannounced. Yeah, that's fine.
That was a big gator.
It was. I've heard that alligators are sweet, but again, I don't want to try to find. I don't want to test that theory. But that's just the word on the street.
Those sweet little gators out there.
Yeah, they're sweethearts.
My fiance Chris has caught an alligator and put it in his best friend's room as a prank.
Stop.
Yeah. And apparently he opens his bathroom and he's just like, oh, okay, and just shuts it immediately. And he calls them and he's like, what are you guys doing? But apparently,
that's a thing.
Yeah, that's a thing. It was a baby one, but no.
No, that's not a thing.
Side note: fried gator. You ever?
Fried gator.
You ever had fried
I'm learning
gator?
a lot of things about you today.
Yeah, I've had gators. So my in-laws during Thanksgiving always do some sort of exotic meat along with the turkey. And we had gator one year.
No,
it's
I
good.
don't think I would.
It tastes like chicken. It does. Aquatic chicken.
It tastes like chicken. Is our weather tasting like chicken? Is it good?
It depends on how you would define
chicken little.
There could be something falling from the sky this weekend in the form of rain chances. We love to see that around this time of the year. Now for this morning, it's dry, a little bit breezy out there, especially in Hermiston, Lexington, Heppner, and in the Kittitas Valley. Also breezy in Walla Walla as well. Later today, the wind's going to ramp up after 2 p.m., but they're not going to be as strong as what they were for yesterday. Right now, temperatures in the 50s and 60s for lower elevations, 40s up in the Cascades, 40s and 50s up in the Blues. Later today, about 5 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. That means mid to upper 80s, plenty of sunshine, a beautiful day. Bottom line for the forecast, more strong winds for Wednesday and Friday, especially in the Kittitas Valley. And that comes, it's kind of a catch-22. We don't like to see the winds going up. We do like to see the temperatures going down. They will go down this weekend. Rain chances going up.
And then those temperatures will go up again because it's going to get...
Into next week.
So see you later, alligator.
There we go. In a while.
Anyways, thank you guys for watching Good Morning Northwest. You can always find updates at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
Good Morning America is up next. We'll be back tonight at 5 with your local news and weather.
Have a great day.
See you later, alligator.
Stay sweet, parakeet.